In the Georgian capital, Tbilisi, journalists gathered outside the residence of Eduard Shevardnadze after news broke of the former president's death at the age of 86. Shevardnadze served as the Soviet foreign minister under Mikhail Gorbachev in the 1980s, then as the leader of newly independent Georgia for more than a decade. His political career ended when he was driven from power by the so-called Rose Revolution in 2003. In Moscow, activists demonstrated in front of the city court, where opposition leaders Sergei Uldatsov and Leonid Razvozhayev are on trial. Both defendants have been charged with organizing mass riots over their role in the May 2012 protests on Moscow's Bolotnaya Square, which led to clashes between protesters and police. Prosecutors have requested 8-year sentences for both men. Supporters say the charges against Uldatsov and Razvozhayev are politically motivated. In the Serbian capital, Belgrade, residents of the town of Obrenovac protested against what they said was inadequate government assistance after their region was flooded in May. The protesters demanded payments of €2,000, or about $2,700, for each of the 6,000 houses and apartments that were damaged in the floods. More than 50 people died as a result of the floods in Serbia, and thousands were displaced. In northwest Pakistan, officials in the city of Peshawar have opened a registration center for internally displaced people fleeing fighting in the North Waziristan tribal district. The center was created to help facilitate relief efforts after officials tasked with aid distribution faced allegations of corruption. Pakistani officials report that more than 600,000 people have been displaced by a military operation launched in North Waziristan in mid-June. In Iraq, dozens of Indian nationals waited for flights at the airport in Erbil after the Indian embassy advised its citizens to leave the country amid renewed insurgent violence. Many of the Indian migrants had been working in areas north of Baghdad that are now controlled by militants of the Islamic State in Iraq and the Levant. More than 10,000 Indian citizens work in Iraq. In the Tajik capital Dushanbe, officials addressed the case of Alexander Sodikov, an academic researcher who was detained last month on spying charges after meeting with civil society activists. Members of the presidential administration said that it is up to the courts to investigate Sodikov's case. International rights groups have expressed concern over Sodikov's detention and the precedent it sets for civil society in Tajikistan. And that's the video roundup from Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty.